Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castro.
Happy Wednesday to all our viewers.
Yes.
It's Hump Day today. And,
August 21.
August 21, Ninoy
ngayon,
Aquino.
Yes, Ninoy Aquino
Commemoration
Day.
of
We are
Ninoy Aquino.
commemorating. Although yung ang holiday ay
Minuve.
no? Ngayong Friday.
Yes, kasi holiday economics yan eh.
Pero yun din, hindi natin at sabi nga natin, hindi natin maalis sa ibang tao na igunita pa rin. Dahil
Yes.
ito yung mismong araw ng kanyang pagkamatay.
We have to remember it on the day
That
itself.
spark, diba? O
But
trigger
yung-
the people that
I understand yung ginawa naman na holiday economics kasi sa Monday naman is National Heroes Day.
Yeah.
So dinikit na lang ang buong weekend for most. Oo, and
Pero
think-
marami pa rin ngayon na magse-celebrate o magko-commemorate ng
Oo naman.
death anniversary.
By the way, we're joined today by, of course, yes, you see it, Second Mile Coffee Cream Puff.
Yes,
And,
na ating comfort food every
And my
Wednesday.
comfort drink, Second Mile Coffee.
Masarap yung coffee nila, sabi mo.
The best. Okay, we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee, this is brunch.
Let's start our countdown with the new home of UAAP. The UAAP announced its plan to build its own facility in Pasig City. The home of the UAAP is a 6,000-seat capacity project that will serve as the central hub for the league's events. The construction is targeted to begin soon and is expected to be finished in 3 years. Some games, however, might still be held in larger venues like the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Yes, it's a 6,000 seating capacity sa home nila. And yung hugis daw ng UAAP.
Ganda, oh.
Yeah, yung hugis daw ng arena is parang number 8, which signifies daw the teams of UAAP, the 8 universities that are part of the UAAP. Oo, pero parang I'm wondering lang kasi number 8.
Ganda. Parang infinity. Di ba sa mga sabi nila, that's luck.
Pero
Kasi infinity, walang
I'm wondering
katapos.
lang kasi most schools now are developing their own stadiums and arenas, 'di ba? Like yung Ateneo Arena, 'di ba? Sumisikat matagal nang naglalaro doon eh. It's because yung per game may home team,
Home
meron
court,
away.
ganun. Parang sa NBA.
Are we moving away from that and deciding just to play on neutral grounds, padamihan na lang ng fans? Let's see. But maganda naman yung arena. Sana magamit ng ibang ng ibang league, di ba?
3 years, no? Ang construction
Oo,
nito.
ganda-ganda.
Abangan natin yan.
6,000 capacity, modern daw. Yung
Ganda.
architects daw are popular. I forgot the name. I just heard it somewhere. Sikat sila for doing modern and ergonomic designs.
Yun. Abangan natin.
Well, looking forward to that and the advancement of sports in the world.
Of course. All right, let's continue with our countdown. Next in our countdown, the Health Department is now working on measures against Mpox. This would cover establishments which services involve physical contact. These are massage spas, barber shops, and salons. For one, the DOH says workers in these businesses should learn how to recognize skin problems. The agency earlier confirmed a new case of Mpox in the country.
Pag may nakita silang mga problema sa balat, wag na munang ituloy, respectfully, sasabihin dun sa kliyente, ma'am, sir, baka kailangan po natin magpatingin muna, diba? Tapos meron siguro magkakaroon ng hotline kung saan tatawag or saan i-refer for possible testing.
Oo.
Yeah, kasi ang Mpox, kailangan ng close physical contact.
Hindi siya yung parang COVID na,
So, yeah,
anong tawag doon? Respiratory?
Droplets, no?
Droplets.
Dito kasi, I'd understand pag salon, kasi you use the razors, you use the scissors, didikit sa balat. Kung ang tao may Mpox at hindi na-sanitize, usually they do naman eh. Tapos didikit sa next client, pwede ka mag-Mpox o sa masahe. Diba? So, very physical and intimate ang contact sa mga ganyan establishments eh. So,
Saka dapat matuto din nga, yung tulad ng sinabi din sa balita na magkaroon ng, magkaroon ng, tawag dito, matrain yung mga employees, yung mga therapist, yung mga cutters, yung mga hairstylists, so makita nila kung anong itsura ba ng skin diseases. Like,
yeah, pero ang problem kasi dyan is although you may train them and you may employ strict measures, but sometimes sa volume ng mga customers na pumapasok, magkakaroon ng error, di ba? So, ano lang, siguro doble ingat na lang. And if you yourself have doubts kung may MPOX ka o hindi, o may naramdaman ka,
Punta na
then
agad sa
siguro
doktor.
punta ka agad sa doktor ka agad para you can be checked, safe ka, and you can isolate yourself.
And now, dun sa mga different hospitals natin, especially dun sa mga binabalita natin, PGH, RITM, medyo rigid yung kanilang observation at saka yung kanilang monitoring no, dito sa MPOX sa atin. So, meron na silang mga tinatalagang mga point of contact na mga person or yun, mga contact person rather, to make sure na talagang ito lang yung gagawin nila to monitor, observe yung situation natin pagdating sa usapin ng MPOX.
Yeah, one of the many things that COVID has taught us is a better tracking and monitoring system for diseases, 'di ba? Kasi we're on our toes already.
Dapat.
Dati kasi although may systems in place, medyo tayo, relaxed lang. Ngayon, we're on our toes.
Yes.
Let's move on. Entering the 8th spot is the newest attraction of Manila Zoo, a baby lioness. The lioness named Isla was given to the zoo by the Manila Achievers Lions Club. We might have to wait for Isla's roar though. Manila Zoo said the lioness is not going to be displayed to the public in the meantime because they are still raising her to grow and get stronger.
Cute naman, pero wawa naman.
No, kasi most
hindi
of-
ko type yung mga
No,
animals. Alam ko, di ba, lagi natin pag-uusapan.
Yeah,
yan.
kasi alam mo, there are a number of, for example, yung nangyari sa eagle natin, nung na-release, di ba, hindi pa ready, namatay. So sometimes there are animals
It's not that the eagle wasn't ready, pero yung
he was confused
yung
dahil sa bagyo.
weather.
Yeah, but if he were the one older eagle, kasi junior eagle pa siya eh. If he were an older one, mas nagko-cope siguro daw siya sa weather and disorient si eagle. But what I'm saying is it has also been proven that there are some animals who are not capable to adjust. They lack the instinct to adapt to the wild. Yung mamamatay na lang sila. If you want that to happen, the natural course of pwede naman. But ang saying natin, there are some species na you want to save. Diba? So you breed them in captivity, pero yung mga zoo naman ngayon, magaganda na eh.
Especially yan sa Manila Zoo, di ba? Inayos nila,
Oo,
nirenovate
ang
nila.
ganda-ganda.
But if you can remember, during the pandemic, ang papayat ng mga animals na humingi
Kawawa.
sila ng tulong.
Walang budget kasi
Diba?
at that time,
At that
no?
time,
Oo.
walang budget. Tapos, recently lang, merong nag-viral na saan ba yun? Kung ma-check natin, yung isang layon na pagod. Tapos,
Ay, kay Chavit.
ginugulpe.
Kay Chavit.
Ayun,
Hindi naman ginugulpe.
parang pinapalo. Or
Hindi naman. Chinek yung video ni Chavit
Oo.
and nakita ko rin yung video. Hindi naman ginugulpe. Parang pinipilit lang gisingin yung
Oo, tapos
kinikilit
parang
eh.
tinatry daw kasi parang
Anyway, napalayas.
suntukin
Hindi naman nakita ng video. I saw the video and even Chavit was interviewed about it. Sa Baluarte yun eh. That's his,
Sa Ilocos.
Yeah, that's his alaga, that's his lion. So, pinalayas na niya yung gumawa nun at sabi niya, wag pilitin daw magtrabaho yung animal kung ayaw, pahingayin. Kasi ang bata gusto mag-selfie daw with the lion, pero yung lion, sabog sa antok. So, ganun. Tapos
Saka pagod. Pagod siya.
Ginigising. No, na-rectify naman ni Manong Chavit Singson. So, it was featured yesterday. I saw that naman.
Okay, sige, maiba naman tayo ng balita dahil pinipilit pa rin ng isang PWD na badya driver na mamasada sa kabila ng kanyang kapansanan.
Pero napilitan siyang tumigil pasada muna dahil walang prangkisa ang kanyang sasakyan. Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal Evan Trinque.
Sa taas ng mga bilihin ngayon, kailangan talagang kumayod para may pangkain. Tulad na lamang ng mga kapatid nating PWD na nagtatrabaho pa rin sa kabila ng kanilang kapansanan. Siya si Rocky Tapales, isang PWD na bumabiyahe bilang badya driver. Ipinanganak kasing underdeveloped ang kamay, pinti at paa. Pero hindi ito kailanman naghihadlang para gampanan ang pagiging padre de pamilya sa kanyang asawa at anak. Sa katunayan niya, mula elevator boy hanggang computer technician, pinasok niya na rin noon.
Able person nga nahihirapan magbuo ng pamilya, disabled pa kaya. Mahal ko po yung mag-ina ko, kahit anong trabaho papasukan ko para sa kanila.
Hanggang sa mas pinagtuunan niya ang pagiging badya driver daw sa magandang kita. Pero ngayon, time out muna siya dahil sa problema sa prangkisa ng kanyang motor. Kaya sa konting income na lang sa Facebook muna siya kumukuha ng panggastos.
Meron naman tayong kaunti na dumadating din. Maganda sana nakabiyahe ako.
Sa ngayon, namimigay na lang muna siya ng free ride sa kanyang mga kaibigan at kamag-anak. Minsan, inaabutan din siya ng mga ito ng tip, pandagdag sa pang-araw-araw. patuloy pa rin daw siyang gagawa ng good deeds dahil alam daw niyang babalik din ito sa kanya. Pero pinaka-target niya ngayon ay makapag-ipon ng 150,000 para maayos ang kanyang prangkisa nang muli siyang makabiyahe.
I hope na makabalik po tayo, na magkaroon po tayo ng prangkisa para safe din yung sarili ko, safe din po yung pasahero ko, at wala na pong masabi yung ibang tao.
Sabi nga nila, kung ayaw may dahilan, kung gusto palaging merong paraan. Gaya ni Kuya Roque, na gagawin ang lahat para sa kanyang pamilya. Mobile Journal, Ivan Tarinki po, hatid ang muka ng balita.
Yan, way to go, Kuya. Salute kami sa mga
Yes.
ganyan Pilipino na
Na talagang lumalaban ng
Lumalaban ng
batas,
batas.
'di ba? Nagtatrabaho, hindi yung katulad ng iba, nagnanakaw.
Hindi nagnanakaw, hindi nag-take advantage. Hindi tumatakbo sa hirap, hindi tumatakbo pag may kinakatakutan. Hindi nawawala, hindi tumatakas. Sorry.
Mamaya, pag-usapan
Mamaya
natin.
Minit na naman ulo ko.
Abangan niyo po yung ating iba pang maiinit na balita. Coming up, Vice President Sara Duterte and Senator Risa Ontiveros got into a heated exchange over a children's book.
And no less than President Marcos vows to expose the culprits behind the apparent escape of Alice Guo.
Heads will roll, sabi niya. Tapos yung sa ano naman,
Off
it's
with
not-
the head!
Si ano yan
Si
yung
Queen. Queen.
Ang tawag dito,
Off
heads
with the
will
head.
roll, at saka ano yung isa kagabi? It's not all about you. Si Senator Risa Ontiveros. So kaya pag-usapan po natin yan.
Drop the mic!
Ano kaya nga mga number nito, mga balita na ito? But we are just getting started, mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching
Brunch here on One
News. Happy Wednesday na
Happy
ngayon.
Wednesday, Hump Day sa lahat ng mga ka-brunchies natin. Thank you for
Ito inaabangan ng mga brunchies natin.
Oo,
yung ating cream puff from...
one cream puff makes your entire day better.
Tere, may patagline.
Wala na ako.
Basahin ko lang dito yung nanonood sa atin sa YouTube, si Oscar and Mark Santiago, Alex Fuentes, at saka si Tita Daisy and Tito Naki.
And last na muna
Mina
kay Sam
Benales.
Pokemon Go daw. Good morning. Kain daw tayo ng chunky chicken. So
Diba?
fast. Thank
Sige,
you.
mamaya babatiin pa namin kayo yung iba pa nating mga avid viewers. But for the meantime, balikan natin, Diego, yung usapin natin tungkol sa MPOX.
Yes. Let's talk more about MPOX right now.
We have on the line Dr. Winlove Mojica, Chief of Division of Infectious Dermatology at Department of Dermatology of UPPGH. Magandang umaga po, Doc. So nice to
Good
see
morning
you.
po sa inyo. Salamat po for having me.
Ay, via phone pala. Sige po, Doc, can you tell us more about our new MPOX case here in the PH in the Philippines?
Okay, so yung po natin, na-detect po siya last week. Isa po siyang lalaki, 33 years old, at present po siya initially ng lagnat. Pagkatapos po, sa sunod na araw, nagkaroon na po siya ng mga butlig-butlig. Mga 3 araw pagkatapos na lumabas ang butlig niya, napakonsulta po siya sa doktor. Na isip ng doktor na mukhang MPOX, nagpadala po ng sample sa RITM at yun po, na-confirm po natin na siya ay isang MPOX. Meron po siyang MPOX. As of now, kasalukuyan siyang nagpapapaling. Wala pa pong dagdag na kaso ng MPOX Pilipinas. So siya pa rin po yung pinakahuli. Siya yung 10th case na.
Okay. Doc, I'd like to, so that we can understand MPOX better, no? From the moment you are infected, may symptoms na ba po lumalabas, and are you already infectious? In case na wala pang lagnat, wala pang mga rashes na lumalabas, can you infect others already?
Okay, so yung MPOX, ang pinaka-mode of transmission niya ay skin-to-skin contact at close contact.
Okay.
Ibig sabihin, kailangan tao na merong MPOX.
Okay.
Ngayon, kapag kunwari nahawa ka, merong incubation period.
Yes, Doc.
Kapag wala pang simptomas,
Ah.
hindi ka pa nakakahawa. Pero pag
Ah.
nag-start na yung lagnat, doon pwede ka nang makahawa. Tapos especially kapag lumabas na yung mga bootleg, nakakahawa ka hanggat doon sa time na maglangip na yung sugat. Kailangan maglangip yung sugat, gumaling yung sugat, para masabi na hindi ka nakakahawa. Usually, yung buong course ng Mpox, yung rash, tumatagal yan ng anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. So, average ng 3 linggo o kaya 21 days.
Yeah, I'll clarify lang, Doc, kasi medyo yung chopping line. So you're saying kahit wala pa yung rash pero may lagnat ka na and lumabas ka, may nahawang iba, so possibly na pwede mong maikalat if you don't isolate yourself, pwede mong maikalat ang Mpox sa iba.
Correct. So, basta nagsimula na yung lagnat,
Okay.
pwede ka nang makahawa. Oo.
Ah,
Pero
ah.
dun sa time na nahawa ka ng iba at hindi ka pa naglalabas ng simptomas, hindi ka pa nilalagnat, hindi ka pa nakakahawa.
Okay, okay.
Doc, ito pong case po natin ng Mpox dito sa Philippines, yung nag-iisa pa lamang po, at hopefully, syempre, hindi na po natin na sana po wag po dumagdag. Ay, ano pong variant po yung tumama sa kanya?
Okay. Let me just correct that. Siya yung pang-10 na case natin na
For this year.
natin mula
Since
nung
July.
2022.
Yes, right.
Tapos, so since nung nag-announce ang WHO ng global international concern about Mpox last week, siya yung kauna-unahan na pasyente mula nung time. Ngayon, hindi ko alam kung anong clad yung nakuha niya, kung anong variant, kung yung variant 1 or variant 2, kasi I think inaasikaso pa nila, nire-run pa nila yung test.
Pero ano pong difference nung clade 1 versus sa clade 2? Ano po yung mas...
Sinasabi nila, based dun sa mga studies dun sa Africa, no, at pwedeng makapag-cause ng death, yung clade 1. About 10% of patients who will have Mpox with clade 1 will might experience might die. Pero mga kabayan natin, itong
Yes, medyo nawawala po kayo, Doc. Can we repeat that po, yung what you have just said?
Okay, so I just want to emphasize na itong Mpox ay hindi katulad ng COVID na mabilis makahawa.
Right.
Okay.
Karaniwan ang mga tao na nagkakaroon nito ay in essence parang healthy naman, nasusurvive nila yung sakit. Lalagnatin lang sila, magkakaroon lang sila ng parang bulutong, and usually that's it. Lahat ng mga pasyente na nagkaroon ng Mpox dito sa Pilipinas ay gumaling na at lahat sila ay buhay. Wala tayong namatay na sila.
Opo. Balikan ko lang din po, Doc, yung ating pasyente nga po dito na merong Mpox. Kasi po wala daw po siyang travel history. Have we contact traced na rin po yung mga possible contact din niya po?
Itong patient na to, tama, wala siyang history of travel outside the Philippines. So, kaya natin sinabi na local transmission. Ibig sabihin,
Right.
nandito na yung virus, no? Doon sa mga nakasalamuha niya, naka-isolate na sila pero wala pa sa kanilang nagde-develop ng symptoms.
Okay.
Okay.
Doc, we'd like to also...
So, hopefully, walang mag-develop ng
Right.
symptoms para
Yeah.
siya na yung last na Mpox patient natin.
Okay, Doc, for our viewing public lang, no, para at least we know how to protect ourselves. You said kanina na it's not, of course, not as infectious as COVID, but I'd like to ask, if I have Mpox already and may mga small rashes po na hindi pa obvious, I go out into a public place po at humawak ako sa isang chair or surface, and if the person next to me touches the same surface, Doc, pwede bang mahawa? May chance po bang kumalat via that way?
Yes, potentially meron. Kasi itong Mpox, nata-transfer din siya via fomites. Ibig sabihin yung mga inanimate objects. Kaya ang suggestion natin, kung kayo ay nilalagnat, lalong-lalo na kung may tumutubo na butlig sa katawan nyo, huwag nang pumasok. Di ba nung COVID time, kapag may ubo, sipon, lagnat,
Yes.
automatic na yun, huwag ka nang papasok kasi makakahawa ka ng ibang tao. So same. Kapag naka-experience kayo na parang trangkaso, wag na kayong pumasok kasi may konting proportion ng pagkahawa ng MPOX sa close contact. So kung may kausap ka na, magkalapit talaga kayo, o na rin, nagchichitan kayo, potentially pwedeng mahawa yung tao na yon. Now, pwede rin na dun sa inanimate objects. For example, naka-shorts ka, tapos meron kang MPOX sa binti mo, tapos naupo ka sa isang lugar, tapos may isang tao na naka-shorts din, na naupo doon. Pwede theoretically, pwede ka talaga makahawa. So, important na pag may sakit, huwag nang lumabas. Para just in case, hindi siya kumala. And at the same time, kung hindi ka sigurado kung ano ang meron ka, kailangan magpakonsulta sa doktor, no, para ma-differentiate. Bulutong ba yan or regular bulutong ba yan or MPOX.
Doc, kung may suspected MPOX ka nga, you said magpakonsulta ba, where should I go? Is there a special clinic or special kind of doctor or same lang as your regular checkups?
Okay. Actually, any physician should be able to differentiate MPOX. Pero karaniwan, based sa aming experience, ako ay isang dermatologist, mahirap i-differentiate minsan, lalo-lalo na kapag bago pa lang na MPOX. Kasi mukha lang siyang parang yung maliit na pigsa, no? Mas maganda kung magpa-check siya sa dermatologist para mas ma-differentiate maigi yung MPOX. Ngayon, sasabihin ng iba, naku, wala kaming pera magpa-derma. Meron naman pong mga libre na konsultasyon. May mga hospital po tayo na nagbibigay ng free dermatology consultation. So, pwede hong pumunta kayo sa website ng pds.org.ph para malaman kung alin yung hospital na may libreng derma consultation na malapit sa inyo.
Yes, Doc, I'd like to add to that. No, if I have comorbidities, high blood, cancer, hypertension, all the other asthma, should I be worried po kung magka-MPOX ako?
Siyempre, kung meron ka pang ibang sakit, kailangan ma-obserba ka maigi. Kasi katulad ng sabi ko, karaniwan naman self-limiting yung MPOX, hindi kailangan ng treatment. Kung parang gamot lang sa lagnat, paglilinis lang ng sugat. Pero kung meron ka pang ibang sakit, for example, meron kang nagki-chemotherapy ka, o kaya meron kang HIV na hindi ka pa umiinom ng gamot para sa HIV, then kailangan talaga masubaybayan ka, no? Kasi minsan nagbabago yung course ng sakit dahil mababa ang immune system mo. Pero in general, ang mga taong nagkaka-MPOX, nalalagpasan naman nila ito.
Right. Okay, on that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. That was Dr. Winlove Mojica, ang Chief of Division ng Infectious Dermatology at Department of Dermatology in UPPGH. Thank you so much.
Salamat po. Thank you.
Lisa,
Malinaw,
malinaw.
oo.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Going straight now to our seventh spot, the Marcos administration bears its possible Senate slate for the 2025 polls. These are Tito Soto, Camille Villar, Pia Cayetano, Amy Marcos, Bong Revilla, and Francis Tolentino, as well as Benhur Abalos, Manny Pacquiao, Erwin Tulfo, Ping Lacson, Abby Binay, and Lito Lapid. National Unity member Congressman El Rey Villafuerte says loyalty to the administration is the main consideration.
If they are really in accordance with the vision of the Bagong Pilipinas, yun naman po ang basis ng alliance, di ba po? Then winnability, of course, is one thing. No? Importante po yan.
I would have wanted to hear na loyalty to the nation, but one with the vision of the party. That would have been sounded better. Kasi loyalty to the administration, parang
Personality na naman tayo eh.
Kasi I remember yung mantra ni PRRD when he won eh. Yung loyalty daw niya sa partido tumitigil when the loyalty to the nation has to be taken into consideration. Kumbaga, ang loyalty ng isang politician is always to the nation.
To serve the government, not the president.
Not the president,
not the person.
But it is also important that in order to be effective, he should have the same vision as the president. I understand that. But you don't use the word loyalty to the administration. Loyalty to the people, di ba? Kasi may mga darating na panahon na when the administration will have errors in policy. Ngayon, even if you are the same party, sa tingin mo, if you see may error sa policy, hindi mo pupuntiryahin.
Because you have to be loyal
You have to be loyal to the administration. No, syempre,
Dapat issue-based.
with your loyalty to the nation and to the Filipino people, then you're going to scrutinize whatever bills na may kailangan palitan, ayusin dahil sa tingin mo may mali. But it does not mean lumilihis ka sa plano ng admin. It just means gusto mo i-perfect ang ginagawa ng isang administrasyon para hindi magkamali.
Oo, wag lang yes lang ng yes. Yun
Oo.
nga, ika nga. Pero
A good leader will not like yes men around him.
Oo.
Gusto niya, i-challenge siya.
totoo,
Oo.
'di ba? Kung may mali, let's balance it.
Ayun, kung ayaw
Hindi
mo
yes
nang,
man.
ayaw mo na na-challenge ka, maghari ka na lang somewhere else.
Pero ito nga sinasabi nila, ang main purpose nga daw ng kanilang mga alliances would be unity pa rin. Yun naman daw yung heart and
We're
soul
back to unity.
ng kanilang
I just hope na may naka-define ang vision kasi hindi naman maganda kung mag-aaway-aaway ulit sila.
Oo. So anyway, yung tatlo doon sa NP block na pinakita dyan ay re-electionist.
Yeah,
Si
oo.
Senator Amy Marcos, Senator Pia Cayetano, tapos si Congresswoman Camille Villar. Magsaswap siya ng post with her mother. Actually, yung mommy niya parang reportedly eyeing mayor post.
Kasi end of term na ba?
Oo, doon sa home city nila.
Oo.
So end of na siya term. Tapos syempre ito nagbabalik si Manny Pacquiao. Although itong mga mukha na ito na nakikita po natin sa TV screen na supposedly nga po ay possible Senate slate ng Marcos administration for the 2025 polls ay wala pa sila talagang official statement kung sila ay tatakbo.
Kasi ang word is possible pa lang ata naman to, no?
Kasi like before, no mga few months ago when we were interviewing sa kabilang programa si Senator Tito Soto, sabi niya nag-iisip pa lang siya, hindi pa siya 100%, pero malaki yung posibilidad. And then others, alam naman natin, re-electionist sila.
Yes.
Pero yun nga, wala pa, like Senator Manny Pacquiao, nagsabi na ba siya officially na siya itatakbo? Wala pa tayong naririnig na gano'n
Not
no?
officially, but he said it in passing in interview.
Yes,
but
yung not official na...
Not specific na kung anong pwesto or basta
Oo.
gusto daw niya magsilbi sa taong bayan.
Oo. So, di ba supposedly, ito si Senator Manny Pacquiao ay under PDP laban. Nakasama niya si
Kasi
Senator
yung
Kiko
kay
Pimentel.
Senator Bato ata yung walang laban.
Well, tinanggal nila yung laban.
Sa kanila
Di ba
ba yung
nagkaroon
walang-
ng faction
Sa
dyan?
kanila ba yung walang laban?
Walang laban yung
Okay.
kila Senator
Kasi
Bato, PRRD.
Senator Coco Pimentel and Senator Manny Pacquiao,
Ay, galing yan dun sa tatay
sila
niya
ang magka-alliance, di ba?
Oo, di ba? PDP laban.
And,
Yun yung alam natin from the very first
And
start
for
na
context lang,
PDP
ang
laban.
daddy ni Senator Coco, si Senator Aquilino Pimentel, ang isa sa mga original
Yes, founding
fathers of
ng
PDP laban.
PDP laban. So abangan natin kasi talagang ngayon nagpuposisyon na yung ating mga politiko, kanilang mga party
Malapit
dahil
na.
malapit
October.
na ang 2025 midterm elections.
Filings, October.
At ang filing ay October. So abangan po na natin iba pang mga alyansa na mangyayari, 'di ba? All right, let's continue with our countdown.
Switching gears for our top 6, the Trade Department inspects markets amid a spike in ASF cases. The agency says pork products in markets are not yet affected by the virus, but sales remain low despite a reduction in prices last week. Over 20 provinces are now on red alert or red zone or with active cases of ASF. Checkpoint operations continue to prevent the movement of infected hogs.
Asa na ba yung mga vaccines natin? Sabi, available naman,
Available,
inaantay na
pero
lang
aling
from Vietnam eh.
Oo, kulang ang supplies eh.
Wala pa daw
Binat-
na ibibigay dito sa atin.
I think
Kasi kung Quezon City lang di ba?
Yeah.
Doon na ilang hugs yung na ano nila.
Even if the
na-detect
vaccines
nila.
coming daw, medyo kulang pa rin eh. The feeling nila. Oo. Yeah. So we have to have stricter, they said that we have to have stricter quarantine choke points. Kasi if ika nga sinasabi yung Quezon City meron na detect, which Quezon City is an industrial and a commercial place, di ba? Hindi man agricultural place yan, pero yung supply,
Nakapasok na.
di ba?
Oo. Isipin mo. Tsaka, yun nga, ito kasi ang ASF talagang pabalik-balik lang siya dito sa atin eh. Di ba, remember, na pinag-uusapan din natin during the pandemic. Actually, 2019 and then nag-move forward sa pandemic, nagkaroon pa rin ng kaso ng ASF. Ang problema nga talaga dyan, iniisip. Although sabi nila, hindi pa rin daw affected ngayon yung presyohan ng pork meat sa market. Kasi sabi nila ngayon, pwede naman mag-import. Tapos, they're doing yung repopulation na program nila para daw ma-augment yung mga mawawalang baboy na mamamatay just in case mamamatay dahil sa ASF.
Nakita ko yung mukha ng
Bakit?
ng
Nawa
baboy.
ka?
Parang ayoko na naman kumain ng pork.
Ang cute nila.
Ang cute niya. Naglalaban ng loob
Hindi ka naman
ko
talaga
eh.
kumakain ng pork, di ba?
Naglalaban nga kasi loob ko. Naawa ko sa mukha nila. Tapos
Ang cute eh.
ang sarap kasi ng bacon.
Oo.
So,
Di ba sabi mo, si Diego po, hindi siya kumakain ng pork,
baboy.
pero kumakain siya ng bacon.
Oo.
Kasi
Ayan.
may ibang category daw ang
Oo.
bacon.
Tama na yan, naiyak ako. Oh, ang cute nila.
Oo.
Mas lalo na po, tignan niyo yung video, may mga baboy po nagsiswimming. Ang saya-saya nila.
Slide sila.
Hindi nila alam later
Di ba
on
matatalino
kakatay.
ang baboy?
They have
yung memory nila.
They have higher sense of empathy than dogs. In other words, they can feel more love than
Oo.
dogs. So ganun katindi sila. Go na, naiyak na ako.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Sizzling at the fifth spot is the recent incident in the West Philippine Sea. 4 countries have called out China for its reckless maneuvers against our vessels. The US, France, Germany, and Japan pushed China to follow the international maritime law. This comes after the China Coast Guard's aggressive maneuvers led to the collision with 2 Philippine Coast Guard vessels. The Armed Forces of the Philippines said the recent incident is a proof that China is still determined to control the whole South China Sea, including the West Philippine Sea. Maritime security expert Ray Powell agreed with this sentiment in his interview with Storycon.
What is clear is that they have decided that Sabina belongs to China. They refer to it as territory, which it is not under international law. Whatever they decide is theirs for when they decide it's theirs, and they'll talk about it as if it's always been.
Kasi nasabi nga nila ang PCG natin ay nangangalap ng mga iba't ibang ebidensya
Yeah.
versus China doon sa nangyaring Escoda Shoal collision.
Yeah.
Kasi nga nung naunang nagsabi ang China nagpalabas 'di ba ng kanilang statement at sinasabi nga tayo daw aggressively na nakipagbanggaan.
And they showed a edited clip
Oo,
lang, not
tapos
the full
nagpakita
clip.
sila ng mga videos na favorable sa kanila. So
Yeah.
tayo din naman, meron tayong mga ebidensya. So PCG is gathering that para mapakita din natin on our side kung ano talaga yung nangyari.
Yeah.
Diba? Alright, let's continue with our countdown.
Coming in at top 4, Vice President Sara Duterte and Senator Risa Hontiveros got into a heated exchange over a children's book. Here's the report.
Vice President Sara Duterte and Senator Risa Hontiveros clashed during a budget hearing on Tuesday. It all started when Hontiveros questions the 10 million peso children's book of the Office of the Vice President. The book is titled Isang Kaibigan or a Friend, authored by Duterte herself. The senator asked what it was about and how many copies the OVP wants to purchase.
This is an example of politicizing the budget hearing through the questions of a senator. Ang problema niya kasi, nakalagay yung pangalan ko doon sa libro. At yung libro na yan, ibibigay namin doon sa mga bata. At yung mga bata na yan, may mga magulang na boboto.
Madam Chair, hindi ko maintindihan yung ugali ng ating resource person. It is a simple question. Paulit-ulit na this is politicizing. Ang VP ang nagbanggit ng salitang boboto. Wala akong sinabing boboto. I'm simply asking, I don't appreciate this kind of attitude, Madam Chair.
Duterte then went on to dredge up her history with Hontiveros, who apparently asked her for help to win votes back in 2016.
Noong 2016, tumatakbo si Senator Risa Hontiveros na senator, nakailang talo na siya.
Dalawa, Madam Chair.
Natatakot siya sa pangatlong talo niya, kaya pumunta siya sa Davao. Ayaw pa siya tulungan ni former Congressman Milen Garcia. Pinakiusapan ko ulit, Kong, please tulungan mo na lang. Nanalo na siya, at nung nanalo siya, anong ginawa niya? Siya ang pinakaunang umatake kay President Rodrigo Duterte. Anong tawag sa ugaling ganito?
Finance Committee Chairperson Grace Poe intervened, saying that the hearing is not about anyone's political history. Poe asked the Vice President to simply sum up her book's concept.
Madam Chair, the explanation is in the title, Isang Kaibigan. It's about friendship.
So kung sana ganun yung naging sagot sa simula pa, di ba? Napakasimple. Simpleng tanong, dapat simpleng sagot. Budget hearing po ito. Hindi po lahat about you. Pera po ito ng taong bayan.
Prior to that, Ontiveros questioned why some of the OVP's programs seem similar to those of the other government agencies. Duterte explained that they just can't say no to people asking for help. The Vice President's over 2 billion peso budget is now on its way to the plenary for presentation.
Ayan, let's continue with our countdown. Vice President Sara Duterte also takes our third spot. She claims that an impeachment complaint against her is brewing in the lower chamber. Duterte said she was informed that lawmakers are openly discussing the possibility of impeaching her. Despite this, Duterte said she is not worried about it since she did not want to run as vice president in the first place. She claimed that she was asked by the Marcos siblings, President Bongbong and Senator Aimee Marcos, to run as the vice president and form the unity team to increase Bongbong's chance of winning. VP Sara said she only accepted their offer to sustain the big projects started by her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Lumapit na sa akin yung magkapatid na Marcos. Sabi nila, hindi kami mananalo kung hindi mo tutulungan kami sa Mindanao at sa Visayas. Sabi ko sa kanila, okay, sige, dahil maraming big ticket projects si Pangulong Duterte sa Davao City, sa Mindanao at sa ibang lugar pa ng ating bansa na gusto nating mapatuloy. Kaya nga, di ba, tumakbo kami on the platform of unity and continuity na hindi natin nakikita ngayon na saan na yung mga big ticket projects. Wala na lahat, unappropriated.
Yeah, so dalawang countdown natin ay kasama si VP Sara.
Pero
unahin natin yung
kay,
ano ba?
Yung kay Senator Risa, one could argue that yung sinasabi ni VP Sara na humingi ng tulong tapos nung nanalo unang inatake si President Duterte, one could argue that that is a show of character na loyalty to the nation. It's because hindi porket tinulungan mo ako in politics means I owe you a debt of gratitude. Yan po ang nagiging problema karamihan sa sistema ng politics. Most of the politicians
we're not singling out a person.
No, we're not. I'm just saying, yan ang system. Most of our politicians that run don't have enough money to sustain a campaign, a national campaign.
Utang na loob system.
So what happens is they go to different campaign contributors na nagbibigay ng pondo sa kanila. And then in return, small favors are given here and there. Hindi sinasabi natin that that is what all of them are practicing, but that is a common practice. That is the system now. So the mere fact, ang tumulong kay Senator Risa Hontiveros at inatake niya right after she won, speaks of character na I don't care who helps me, but kung may mali, pupuntiryahin ko.
Pero yun nga sabi, that's a different issue, kumbaga, dahil during the hearing, ang pinag-uusapan nila, itong libro na supposedly ipamimigay ng Office of the Vice President na tinatanong doon sa hearing na yon kung ano bang content nung ano na yon, nung libro na yon.
Hindi niya masagot eh. Noong una, she was getting angry already.
Siguro na ano na rin siya na alam niya galit to sa kanya.
Pero I'm sure si Senator Risa knew already from the start na may picture. She wanted it to come from the mouth of VP. Pero sa akin naman...
Yun nga kasi nakita ng mga tao may picture. Bakit daw may picture? Kasi siya daw yung author. Tapos may nakalagay doon na kung sino ba siya, di ba? Ano ba si
But there are two ways
Sara
of looking at it. Okay, she is the author.
Yes.
And standardly, the author would have a picture and a little story about, or a preface or a biography about the person who wrote it. But that is usually, pag ikaw ang sumulat at ikaw mismo ang nagbayad sa libro mo,
or may publisher
may
ka.
publisher ka.
But this is going to be under the budget of
the government and the Filipino people. Pera
ng
taxpayer.
Oo.
Taxpayers' money. So in
Yes.
other words, pag gano'n ang issue, di pwedeng sulatin mo, wag mo na lagyan ng picture.
Totoo.
Diba? Just i-credit na lang yung pagsulat sa'yo, pero you don't need a picture. Parang yung textbooks sa mga ginagamit sa school, sa public schools. Diba? Hindi naman nilalagay yung picture ng sumulat ng textbook Diba?
Meron naman mga iba maliliit. Kunyari kasi sa isang libro...
May mention of the professors who contributed.
Kunyari sa isang libro, may 3-4 na authors yan Nilalagay yan sa likod yung mga maliliit na picture nila.
Yeah, but they are not politicians.
Yeah, they're not politicians. education. They're really
educators.
educators,
They're
authors, diba, writers. So, nagkakaroon talaga ng bahid ng politika dahil, ano ba to? Early campaign na ba to? Dahil pumuposisyon na ba sa 2028 election? Dahil kapag libro, forever nandiyan dyan yung mukha mo diba, makikita.
Actually, nasa 48 laws of power yan. The
Mind
best
conditioning, gano'n.
No, it's not even conditioning. The best way to maintain
Presence.
power. No, not 48, but the book of basta it's a certain book that says, in order to succeed in politics, you have to educate the younger generation.
Yes. Dito ang target audience ng libro na to
Younger.
grade 1 to 4, if I'm not mistaken.
And this grade 1 to 4, sabihin mo nang in 10 years' time, are voting already.
Yes.
And they read your book, sabihin mo na once in their lifetime, naalala nila yung mukha mo on the book. So it's a...
Layo pa naman, pero
I'm not
yun
saying
nga.
yun ang intention ni
Yes.
VP
Oo,
Sara.
oo,
But yun ang iniisip siguro ni Senator Ontiveros na wag mo na lang lagay litrato mo sa libro. Pero in fairness
Nagtarayan
naman...
sila kahapon.
Oo.
This is not about you, gano'n.
Pero in fairness naman kay VP Sara, yung bag niya, where the
Wala
book-
daw pangalan
Walang
yun.
pangalan niya. And of course, this comes at the heels of the budget proposal ng OVP na meron
Supposedly, traditionally, kapag ang Vice President ang nasa budget deliberation, wini-wave na yan Hindi na nila yan tinatanong.
No,
Naalala mo,
oo.
saglit lang na minuto, okay na yan,
Meron
pasado
kasing
na yan.
900 million na nakapropose sa OVP na nakita that will go to several health services like wheelchair,
Yes. Burial
expense. Ang problem po kasi, DSWD is the lead agency in doing this. So parang ang sinasabi ng senador, wag natin ilagay sa OVP na lang. Ipasa na lang natin sa actual agency. But the OVP office now is claiming, minsan...
May mga lumalapit sa kanila
pag may referral letter kami at binibigay namin yung referral letter, tapos pupunta sila sa DSWD or other agencies, sasabihin hindi daw sila in-entertain dahil galing sa OVP. Ewan ko, mag-usap na lang kayo
Ano
lahat.
ba talaga dapat? Kasi talaga, technically, ano ba talaga yung ginagawa ng Vice
Basta-
President? Spare tire talaga siya So, mahihirapan talaga siya when coming up with projects.
Basta at the end of the day, the services
Ngayon,
for the people, wag niyo po idamay ang serbisyo para sa taong bayan with your politics. It doesn't matter. Kunyari,
Kasi 10 million yung pinag-uusapan, hindi naman din yun
Not only the
maliit
10 million, other
na halaga
amounts
para
also.
doon sa libro lang. And other amounts as well. Tapos ngayon, handa na ba si Vice President Sara Duterte sa deliberation naman sa Congress ang kanyang budget? Dahil ngayon, di ba sinasabi niya doon sa kanyang, yung pang top 3 natin, di ba, punta tayo doon, may mga usap-usapan na may impeachment complaint, 'di ba, against her na namumuo na doon sa Congress
And
dahil may mga kakampi pa daw sila doon May
And
mga
mind you,
nagsasabi at takot silang makipag-usap at kaya binubulong na lang.
And mind you, the Senate is supposed to be a little friendlier kay VP Sara, but in numbers, mas madaming galit kay VP Sara. You have to remember, it's controlled by House Speaker Martin Romualdez, who magkaroon
Not
sila
controlled. By the
under
leadership.
And you have to remember, they've had their issues before. The one time or another, diba?
Yes.
So,
Sabi ko nga, di ba, how tides have turned now na before, few years ago, hindi mo makikita ng ganito, lahat babaw sila sa mga Duterte.
Yeah.
Ngayon, iba naman ngayon ang, iba talaga ang gulong ng
basta
palad.
at the end of the day, sana wag maapektuhan lang ang services for the Filipino people with politics.
Totoo.
It doesn't matter what political fence you belong to.
Importante naman
this is
kasi talaga for
This
the
is still
public,
one nation, di ba? At the end of the day, pareho naman tayong Pinoy lahat So, kaya sino ang sinusuporta mo sa politics, doesn't really matter.
Oo. So, ayan. Sige, medyo mainit-init yung balita na yan. Pero marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan. Don't go away. We're not done yet.
May dalawa pa tayo. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Happy Wednesday to all our viewers. Medyo mainit yung iba sa...
Oo, sa comment section.
Kalma
Sige lang. Oo.
Palabas lang po ito. And we're just delivering you the news and commentary. And thank you pala sa Second Mile Coffee.
Of course. Si Gary ko, nanonood din siya sa atin, di ba?
Okay, let's get right to it
May
kasi...
mga sinasabi din siya, pero tapos na yung usapan natin dyan, balikan na lang natin.
Usap na lang tayo
bukas.
mamaya, Gary. Pero matuloy muna tayo kasi may dalawa pa tayo. Coming in at top 2, the Finance Department defends its order for PhilHealth to return some 90 billion pesos in excess funds. During a Senate hearing, PhilHealth said if it's up to them, they will use the untapped funds to improve their services to their members. But the DOF insisted that the transfer of excess funds would help the government's other projects and responsibilities.
Our colleagues from the DBM can confirm this, but it is our understanding that had nothing been done, there would have been no budget within the 2024 GAA to actually fund the health emergency allowance. Matupad ang pangako ng gobyerno sa ating mga healthcare workers.
In an interview with a big story, Dr. Antonio Dans, an academician from the DOST, says the transfer of PhilHealth funds is both immoral and illegal.
There are so many people suffering because of, need for funds for healthcare. Napakarami pong naghihirap. The Universal Healthcare Act protects the insurance nature of PhilHealth. None of its reserve funds can go back to the national treasury.
Ayun, kasi sinasabi nga nila dun sa health emergency allowance, dun sa mga healthcare workers natin, mga frontliners during the pandemic, di ba? Binigay na yung unang tranche nito earlier this year.
Yeah.
At sabi nila dito din daw nanggaling yung fund na yon. Pero bakit PhilHealth? Ang tanong, bakit PhilHealth ang magbabayad ng allowance na yun sa mga frontliners? Hindi ba dapat under DOH yun? Oh, di ba? Yun yung inaano natin, bakit sila doon kumukuha. Kaya marami pa rin sa mga health advocates ang nag-urge no, sa ating, o inihikayat yung ating administration na magkaroon ng reform dito sa PhilHealth dahil hindi maganda. Dahil tuloy pa rin ang pag-transfer ng fund dahil wala pa naman TRO from Supreme Court. So kung ano yung order from Department of Finance, ibibigay ng PhilHealth yan unless magkaroon ng TRO. Okay. Mahababang usapin yan but let's move forward muna para po sa ating top 1. Remaining on the top spot is Alice Go. President Bongbong Marcos warned that they will expose the culprits who helped the dismissed Bamban-Tarlac mayor flee the country. Here's the report.
Heads will roll. This is a stern warning of President Bongbong Marcos against the people who helped dismissed Bamban-Tarlac mayor Alice Go fly out of the country. In a statement, the president said an investigation about Go's escape is underway, and those who aided her flight will be suspended and held accountable. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin has requested the Foreign Affairs Department and the Justice Department to cancel Go's passport. He also wants to cancel the passports of her siblings, Wesley and Sheila Leal Go, and Cassandra Ong, who has ties with Pogos. Go's lawyer, attorney Stephen David, still insisted his client is still in the country. To prove this, attorney Elmer Galicia went to the DOJ to confirm that he saw Go in his law firm in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Galicia is the lawyer who notarized Go's counter-affidavit.
Kausap sila ni Alice Guo dun sa baba ng kanyang opisina, nakita niya. At nagpresenta ng driver's license supposedly Alice Guo sa kanya. And then he notarized the counter-affidavit which was due to be submitted to the DOJ for preliminary investigation.
The National Bureau of Investigation has a warning against Galicia if proven that he lied for Guo.
Pwedeng ma-disbar ka or masuspend ka. Depende sa sitwasyon. Attorney Galicia. He is testifying that Alice Guo went to him personally and subscribe and sworn the affidavit. We will siguro summon or subpoena Attorney Galicia kung he is still telling the truth.
Yun ang yung latest dyan yung notary 'di ba kasi ginigiit nga niya na nakita niya na nasa sasakyan itong si dismissed Mayor Alice Go na nagpanotaryo sa kanya para doon sa affidavit niya doon sa kaso niya ng human trafficking. That was August 14 ba? Sinasabi doon sa paper trail na ipinresenta ni Senator Risa Ontiveros na later verified also ng validated also ng Bureau of Immigration ay July 8 15, wala na siya dito. July 17 siya umalis ng Pilipinas. So it's either...
July 18 siya umalis ng Pilipinas. So which makes it, nandito siya ng...
Hindi, August.
She could have, okay, the explanation there kasi is pwedeng, I'm just assuming lang
Yes,
ha.
oo.
Pwedeng nag-back and forth siya.
Yun nga eh. So, ganito lang yan eh. It's either nagsisinungaling yung lawyer
Or
nagba-back and forth siya.
Oo.
Di ba sabi nga ni spokesperson Dana Sandoval kahapon sa
Yeah.
interview natin, meron silang nakitang ticket na purchase na from Singapore pabalik ng Pilipinas. Pero hindi daw yun natuloy.
Yeah.
So parang may ganon. May mga ganong instances na merong bumili, babalik dito sa Pilipinas. So, yun ang isa pang theory na pwedeng mangyari na, nagba-back and forth siya
I don't
dito
know
sa
how the
Pilipinas.
NBI will take this into consideration because you have an account from a lawyer and who's a sworn account na he did personally see face-to-face the former mayor. And then you have...
Hindi na daw pumasok sa sa office.
Oo nga, bumaba.
Bumaba daw siya sa
nakita niya.
kotse.
And on the other side naman, you have the NBI and several agencies who have seen information, paper trail, na Alice Guo is not in the Philippines but in these countries that were mentioned. But ang problema sa sinasabi nila, they haven't actually seen CCTV footage. They haven't seen her personally. So how do you now take this into account? Diba usually in the court of law, mas matibay yung actual na nakita mo.
Yes.
And the lawyer swears by his profession that he saw the former mayor. In the other side naman, all you saw was a ticket. Arguably naman, pwede mo sinabi, you bought the ticket, but you did not use it. Diba?
From Singapore to
Kasi
to
alam
the
mo,
Philippines.
modern times ngayon, easily you can book online. So I don't know how they're going to wait unless the Bureau of Immigration has other info that we don't know about.
Yun. Yun nga sinasabi natin, di ba? Sa dami ng mga budget natin sa Intel and Confidential Fund, nalusutan pa tayo nito ng isang Alice Guo. Pinagtatawanan na tayo internationally dahil 'di ba yung ating mga ang tawag dito yung mga naging proseso natin dito nalusutan tayo. Ito ay isang high profile na tao.
Tapos hindi pa natin
What
mahuli.
if may mga iba pang gumagawa nito na hindi natin alam?
Another high profile si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy.
Yes. I was gonna ask that dapat kay kahapon kay
Bureau.
spokesperson na Dana Sandoval, I forgot lang, pero nasa na ngayon, 'di ba si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy?
Yeah.
But going back to dismissed Mayor Alice Guo, nasaan siya? At dinala nga yung 'di ba, yung sinasabi yung nagpanotaryo siya kasi pwedeng nasaan, wala bang CCTV camera doon sa lugar, doon sa labas, wala bang CCTV camera doon para makita nga yung sasakyan kung saan nandoon nakasakay, dineliver pa. Napakasosyal naman. Dineliver pa yung yung pinanotaryo doon sa sasakyan, no. May pa-drive-thru sila doon.
Hindi, baka naman kasi if siya nga yung nandun, threat to security, may threat siya sa buhay niya.
Bakit hindi siya nagsabi sa authority na nakita niya si Mayor Bambanes?
Hindi naman siya daw tinanong
kasi di ba pinaghahanap nga?
And because of all that,
Bakit mag-ano ka na kaagad?
Uminit ang ulo. Ha?
Mag-quote
Hindi pa ako
ka na
tapos
kaagad?
mag-banter.
Okay, kala ko mag-quote
Sabihin
ka
ko
na
sana uminit ang ulo ni Pangulong BBM.
Ayun, go. Kala ko mag-quote ka na.
Muntik na ako mag-ano.
Go. Bilis.
Papagulong ng ulo, sabihin ko.
Heads will roll.
Paano yun? Ibo-bowling ni President Marcos mga ulo nyo. Sige kayo.
Actually, may order na nga tulad ng balita na ipapakancel na. Di ba sabi ko nga, bakit di pa kasi pinakancel umpisa yung passport niya?
Wala naman kasi.
Ang problema kasi gusto nila dumaan sa proseso. Ngayon, kung meron na daw itong, kumbaga, talk about the, kumbaga, may national interest issue na, then pwede yun cancel right away.
I understand naman na you have to go to the process because it might set a bad precedence dahil magamit tong issue na ito in the future. Pag may isang inosenteng tao na hindi inimbestigahan na maayos, cancel muna natin yung passport dahil national interest. So I understand why you have to go through the process. That's why the process is there in the first place.
Yes, I
to
know.
ensure that everything is fair. For example, pwedeng gamitin argument ni Alice Guo na unfair sa kanyang government. And that could be basis for a political asylum. So that's why it's best you follow the process para all bases covered. At pag nag-apply siya ng asylum sa iba, sabihin niya unfair ang government, sabihin ng gobyerno natin, hindi
Oo.
we gave her all due gore, siya ang tumakbo,
Yes,
siya ang nawala,
umalis.
siya yung nagtago.
Well,
siya
may
yung
point din
tumakas.
naman. Pero yun nga, ngayon, sabi, cancelahin na yung passport niya para kasi
kunin na
yung
natin siya.
yung Goa Ping, expired na talaga yun eh. So
Oo.
yung lumabas siya dito, ang ginamit niya yung Filipino passport.
And lastly,
which is sinasabi, hindi naman daw siya
Before she goes, she will never use her Chinese passport because
Oo.
gambling ang ginagawa ni Alice Guo, and you know how strict China is against
Can you
gambling.
imagine kung totoo talaga itong mga paper trail, kasama niya, nakipag-meet up siya dun sa supposedly sisters niya, mommy niya, 'di ba? Na sinasabi niyang wala naman siyang kapatid.
Lumaki siya ng farm with the pigs.
Ay, nako. Napakahabang drama po nito. Saga.
Okay.
Itong Alice Go na to. Sabi daw kasi, go ka na. Umalis ka na.
Corny. Okay. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng sponsors natin. Second Mile Coffee. Jerry Yang, good morning, and all our viewers. And with that, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. A quote from Albert
Totoo.
Einstein.
Mayaman ka nga, pinaghahabol ka naman ng mga tao, di ba?
Yeah. Okay lang, habulin ako dahil sa kapugian.
Ayun lang. Nako, and that wraps up today's episode of Brunch. Pag-uwi na po natin, baka kung ano pa.
Join us again tomorrow.
Sige.
She's Angela Castro, and I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.